to focus on, again, using the Arithmetic General Term Formula, but this time you will be given just 2 general terms and you'll be asked to find the first 4 terms in the sequence, which means you have to find the first term and you're going to need to know the difference in order to do that. Okay. In these 2 examples, you're given the first term and you're given a term further up the sequence. In this question, term 8 has a value of 34, and in question 28, the 15th term has a value of 124. Over the page, however, we are not given the first term. We're given the 6th term and the 12th, and in question 30 we are given the 5th term and the 16th term. So I'm going to do question 29 as an example, and question 27 first. Alright, so again we're always going to start, we know it's arithmetic, okay, especially it being the 8th term, okay, heading from 6 through to 34, it's not a huge difference, so it has to be arithmetic. Okay, a general term is the same as A plus n take away 1 times D. Okay, what do we know in the sequence? Well, we actually know 2 of the general terms. Okay, so we'll just leave that for the moment. First term we know is 6. Okay, now if we were to choose, because they've given us the first term here, let's use the other term to find the stuff we don't know. So this general term here, the nth term in this case is 34, with the first term being 6 because it tells us, which means we also know n must be 8. Okay, it's the 8th term. Okay, what we don't know is D. That's what's missing. We need to know that in order to be able to write the first 4 terms. So essentially what we're trying to find is the gap between these 2 numbers in the sequence, okay, and the difference between each one of those gaps. Alright, so what do we know? We know that the general term is 34, so we're just plugging in what we know. Equals, well, A is 6, plus n is 8, take away 1, times D. Now we don't know D, so we look at what we've got. We've only got one missing variable. Well, that's going to be easy enough to find, isn't it? So let's just simplify this equation. Okay, I'm going to bring down stuff I'm not going to touch yet. I can simplify this bracket. Okay, brackets first, basic bed mass. 8 take away 1 is 7, and then multiplication. 7 times D is 7D. Now we can actually follow through, use our algebra to solve for D. Okay, how do I get rid of a positive 6? I take it away, do the same to both sides. Alright, and tidy up that equation. 34 take away 6 must be 28, which leaves us with 7D. Alright, how do I get D by itself? It's short for 7 times D. Divide by 7, both sides. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Well, we now found the difference. Now it's asked us to write the first 4 numbers in the first 4 terms, sorry, in the sequence. Well, let's prove. Term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. Alright, what is the first term? Well, I knew that, it was 6. Okay, my difference each time is plus 4. It's a positive 4. So to get from there to there, I add 4. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 4, 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. I found the difference so I could answer the question of the first 4 terms in the sequence. Done. Okay, so now let's look at question 29 and see how that's different. So in question 29 we're told that the 6th term is 15 and we are told that the 12th term is 27. We know it's arithmetic, so our formula is the general term is the same as a plus n take away 1 times d. We've been asked to find the first 4 terms in the sequence. In order to do that, we need to know the first term and we need to know the difference. Well, let's see what we actually do know. We'll have to deal with one general term at a time. So we know that the general term, the 6th term, is 15. We do not know a. We know n is 6, and d is unknown. Okay, this is the first time we've run into a problem where there are 2 unknown variables, and this is where we're going to sort it out. Let's put in what we actually know though. We know the general term is 15, so we can substitute that in. A is still unknown, n is 6, take away 1 times d. Now we know we can tidy up that equation, so let's do that. 15 is the same as a plus 6 take away 1 is 5 times d gives us 5d. Alright, we now have a general rule, but there's no way we can find both a and d. We are going to call this rule or equation 1, and this is where I'm introducing you to simultaneous equations. We're going to find the general rule for this general term, and we're going to do the same for this one. Okay? With our equation, what we're going to do is we're going to take this equation and then subtract this equation, because that is the rule that separates them both. Okay, and that difference will help us find d, and then from there we can just plug in what we know back into one of our equations to find out a. It'll make sense as we do it. Okay, so let's deal with this one here. What do we know for this one? We know that the 12th term is 27. We know that, well, we don't know a, but we do know that n is in fact 12, but we don't know d. And just like we did up here, we're going to put that information into the equation. 27 is the same as a plus 12 take away 1 times d, and we can tidy that up as well. 27 is the same as a plus 12 take away 1 is 11 times d is 11d. Now this is equation number 2. Okay, we have 2 general rules, one here and one here. Now we're wanting to find d. You'll see what happens if we take equation 2 and subtract equation 1. We'll be left with something we can solve. Here it goes. My second equation I take first. I'm going to line them up, put subtraction sign in, line them up so the variables are in the same place, because we can only add or subtract like terms. If they're different, we can't do that. We've got 2 constants, so we can subtract those. We've got the same variable, a, and in this case we had 5d. Alright, they're like terms because it's a certain amount of d, okay? 11d take away 5d gives me, I'll do it in a different colour so you can see, gives me 6d. A take away a, well, that gives me nothing. I could write a 0, but it's a waste of ink really. And 27 take away 15 gives me 12, but we'll double check that, because if you were in an assessment, why take the chance? Double check it. 12 it is. Alright, I know I've got a big gap there, but it still works. We need to isolate the variable d. How do we do that? We do the opposite. What's the opposite of 6 times d? Divide. Divide by 6 to leave d by itself. Do the same to both sides so that you're balancing your equation. Well, what have we got? 12 divided by 6 is in fact 2, which leaves us d. So we've found the difference is in fact 2. What didn't we know? We didn't know a now, but we do know d. okay? We can use what we know to find out what we don't. I always choose the equation with the smaller numbers in it because it's just less to have to deal with, but you could find out A from both of these. So I'll do that over here. Okay, I'm going to use our first rule that we came up with. I could plug it in right back to the start, that would be fine, but I've got a nice tidy rule here, so I'll just do that. Put in what I know, 15 equals, I still don't know A, that's what I'm trying to find this time. 5 times, what did I find D to be? 2. Just sub it in, and I tidy it up. 15 equals A plus 5 times 2 is 10. Plus 10, how do I get rid of it? I'm going to subtract it. I don't know why I did that because that means divided by, my bad. Take away 10, take away 10. 15 take away 10 is in fact 5, which leaves us A. We found the first number in the sequence. Okay, what did we have to do? To answer the question, we had to write down the first 4 terms. Well, I know the first one, and I know the difference. Okay, 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. And I better label them because that's answering and proving the end of it. Okay, so what we did is we took what we knew, we found the rule for the first general term, we found the rule for the second general term, and we subtracted, oh sorry, for the 12th one, but you know, the other general term. Second rule, take away the first rule, helped me find D. Okay, we used D and plugged it back into the first rule we used, and it helped us find A. Then we could actually answer the question. I hope that was useful, boys. Give the other question a go if you can't see it from there. Question 30 is T5 equals 60 and T16 or the 16th term equals negative 105. Notice you've got a positive and you've got a negative, okay? So we've got a decreasing sequence. It's arithmetic, okay? So don't get confused with the common ratio of it being alternating. It's just going to constantly go down, but obviously it's going to be a minus, a negative difference. All right, we'll see you in the next video, boys, which will be getting into some of arithmetic sequences.